We're on, busy as the Hay Street Mall is, which is in Perth for those of you viewers who aren't in Perth. First letter tonight is, hello, got a few walkthroughs tonight. First letter tonight is not that one, nor is it that one, it's that one. My marriage is a very happy one. None of my family has ever been slightly aware of my affair. Take a picture of that one. They're coming back. Good bite for seconds. No wonder politicians have such a poor record. They indulge in their own interests rather than striving for the welfare of others. Hello. Hello. Welcome to Mumskin City. And the final letter tonight. The rich bloodsuck and pillage until the world's economy finally runs to bull dust. All this and more. You're having a good time. I'm not. I've got to get a little bit taller. Oh, sorry. In about 10 seconds on Sweet and Sour. See you then. And I'll be taller, hopefully.
Got a problem, big or small, would a miracle be nice? Our motley crew is back, churning out advice. You might even laugh a bit in the following half hour. Park your backside on the couch, cause baby it's time for Sweet and Sour. Right here on Sweet and Sour.
Pour some sugar on there, baby.
It's time for Sweet and Sour.
What's your finger? Woohoo! Keep going. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to Sweet and Sour. Lovely to have your company. Gary Mitchell with you for the next half hour. And a terrific load of panellists. First up tonight, my mate. He's getting married very shortly. How long to go, sir?
Very much a few more weeks.
Very much a few more weeks, all right.
I'm getting a bit panicky at the
When's the
moment,
Bucks party?
Next weekend, or this weekend, and it's September 11 for those who want to know.
Oh. Shall we tell them where it is so they can crash as well?
Well, you can come to the Bell Tower if you like.
No, don't tell them, they will. Oh, wait, shall we tell them where the Bucks show is as well?
No, we'll try to avoid that one.
No. How many women have we got coming to the... Oh, we're not allowed to say that on this one.
No. Do you want to start again?
We've got... It's a lovely...
Day to day.
Who's your best man? Anyone we know?
No. Some important panellists here tonight.
Hello, Lisa.
Hello, how are you? I'm the best man.
What happened to your finger?
I was on a safari in Africa and gave an animal the bird. And it just somehow it attacked me and now I've got a broken finger, so... But it's getting better.
How long did it take you to make up that story? That's
the truth.
Is it?
Yeah.
Some wild animal. Was his name Jake?
Well, yeah, that's right.
Jake's in the audience tonight, folks. And what's the name of the business? We're not allowed to mention?
In Vogue Renovations.
Oh, but we can't mention it.
No, we haven't mentioned it. In Vogue Renovations,
All right, we're not allowed to... Alex!
Gary!
Welcome back.
Hello.
Now, I didn't know that you were such an accomplished artist. How long have you been doing that? How does it go?
2.5 years.
Is that all?
Yeah.
All that work that you showed me earlier was just in...
I'm a natural.
Are you selling?
Yes.
What about your artwork?
Yeah, that too.
All right, smarty. Welcome to the show, love.
Yeah, good to be here again.
Again. Now, the last time you were on, was that with me?
Yes.
The previous ones, we've had that conversation.
Oh, my God.
I abandoned you for how long?
8 times.
8 times.
7,
right.
no, because the first one was with you.
There you go.
Yeah.
Harry?
Gary?
What's the state of play with the economy, mate?
Start saving your money. I think interest rates are going to go down. Maybe next month, sooner.
What's going to happen with house prices?
I think prices are going to come up a little bit because there's going to be a little bit more demand because the rates are down.
Ooh.
That's what I say. If you're thinking of buying a house, start saving now. Absolutely.
Good time to buy.
Good time to buy.
Coming up.
Yep, absolutely.
Had a look at the letters?
Yes.
Yep.
And, in a word?
Amazing.
Is that a word?
No, nothing.
Is that a word? I don't
You
think so.
spell it little n, big
That's
N,
it.
and 3 little n's
Don't
after.
bother about the spelling. Here we go. First letter comes to us from North Balwyn, Victoria, and fraying at the edges writes, Dear Sweet and Sour panellists, my marriage is a very happy one. I've been married for 16 years and we have 2 beautiful and well-adjusted teenagers. It's a lovely family unit. I realised soon after I married that my husband, who's a wonderful man, had a much lower sex drive than I had and still have. Rather than leave my husband, I began a sexual affair with a man whom I was lucky enough to meet, having found himself in the same situation. Sadly, his partner died recently, and because of this, he's needed to see me more often than usual. The problem, however, is that the dynamics have all changed. He needs and wants more, and it seems his needs are growing. I am seeing my family less, though thankfully not noticeably yet. He's been so faithful and discreet all these years, I owe him enormously, but I am feeling as though I need to abandon this arrangement and find another sex surrogate. None of my family have ever been even slightly aware of my affair, and yet now I think it's potentially going to threaten that equilibrium. There are so many things to juggle now. I'm feeling somewhat anxious about the next step. I'd appreciate some perspectives or direction on how to safeguard my perfect family from all this change. First up, is it a perfect family? Alex?
What a slut. I mean,
I mean, what do you mean? Come on.
No, mate, you know, I think you're a really selfish woman because...
She had urges.
Doesn't matter. It shouldn't be about sex, you know. When you marry someone, it's that person you're married to, and I can't stand it when I hear about people having affairs behind someone's back. I mean, like, imagine how crushed he would be to find out you've been rooting around with everybody, or with this guy. I mean, he's got a lower sex drive. Oh, hang on a minute. Maybe he's having a sex with someone else.
Yeah.
That's why he doesn't want to have sex with you. Or maybe you're just so...
That doesn't make it any better, though, does it?
No, but she must be really off-putting if
Why isn't this the right thing? She
No.
had a high sex drive, he had a low sex drive. Rather than bugger the marriage and the kids, she stayed with him and found an avenue...
Now she wants to go and find someone else because the other guy's getting
She's
too
had enough
clingy.
party over.
Yeah, it's just
Is that
to
what
me,
you're
she
saying?
sounds like she's selfish and she's... You sound horrible. I wouldn't want to be with you.
What does she do then?
Well, because she's just a raging sex maniac.
Well-
and it's all about sex. It shouldn't be about sex. Sex, 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 sex.
But what does
Everyone
she
talks
do?
about sex.
What does she do? It's always been about sex for her. What does she do?
What about when you're too old and you can't even... when you can't get an erection anymore, then you go and take these... What's that?
don't like
Adderall?
this woman.
You
don't like this woman.
That
Harry,
thing you smell now.
Come on, Harry. She just doesn't like the bird. Come on.
Viagra. Oh my God.
Selfish.
Come on,
woman.
Harry.
I'm feeling frayed at the edges. Look, I think the good news is that you had two beautiful, well-adjusted teenagers. Otherwise, you probably would have left already. And I hope you had nothing to do with the passing of his partner, because that's a bit of a worry. Look, I think you might be pleasantly surprised that your husband probably already knows what's going on. Just he's been very polite and not said anything. Because if you've been having an affair for 16 years. Most guys I know usually know that something's not right.
No,
He's probably just been very polite. So you have got a very good husband. You need to buck up, and I agree with Alex. Get back home, get yourself sorted out, and fess up to the sins.
Lisa, if he doesn't know what's going on, and this has been going on for 16 years, she wants to have a new liaison now. She's not being fair to anybody. She's a cheat to her husband. She's going to give this bloke the flick, and she wants to go and have another liaison. Any redeeming features?
No,
that this woman
there's
has?
no. I don't see any redeeming features. If anything, and I think Harry, you said it. Like, I feel sorry for you, but she says she's got a perfect family. Well, hardly. And you say he's been such a faithful husband. Well, has he? If you're able to keep a secret like that, maybe he's kept a secret. Maybe he's gay. Maybe he's got a man on the side like you do, or something.
Now that'd be a bummer.
That'd be a bummer. I love your lines. But I really do feel sorry for you. I think, you know, and if that is your situation, then your life's a lie. You're living a lie, and, you know, at what point are you going to correct it? Or if you're happy living that lie, then what can you do? Continue. There's no easy answer. It's wrong what you're doing.
Neil, when is it going to come unstuck?
When the husband finds out. I don't think many men would tolerate that, especially over such a long period of time. And I think if you're any form of redeeming quality, you have to be aware of one thing. If you think you're going to do the right thing and say that I'm going to stick with my husband and everything's going to be terrific, this guy that's now had the wife that's died is going to get more and more needy, and the chances of him actually being in love with you is probably very high, and he'll go around and tell your husband even if you're not going to.
Yeah, that's right.
Once the cloak and dagger disappears,
It's getting a little bit touchy, yes. So there you
My
go.
advice is be very nice to him and say, look, it's all over, get back with your husband. Don't tell your husband what's going on, because if he finds out your relationship is over, I can guarantee that.
You've got a vow.
No wonder she calls herself fraying at the edges. When we come back, we're going to be talking about Penny Wong.
Oh,
Don't go away. We'll see you soon. More of Sweet and Sour in a
won't
moment.
be wrong.
And people.
Get around, I get around, yeah, get around, round, round, I get around, I get around, round, round, I get around.
address that's about to appear on your screen right now, which is sweet and sour. No, it's not. It's letters at sweetandsour.net.au. The whole panel know it. I'm the only one that doesn't.
Gary, what's in that glass?
It's just water. Don't you worry. And for everyone who does send us a letter, we're going to send it to the movies, courtesy of Natalie Cameron and NRC Communications. And the movie we're sending it to this week is Win Win, starring Paul Giamatti. And we've all been to see it, haven't we?
Yeah,
Fantastic.
And we love.
It's a winner.
Yeah, it's a winner.
It's a winner.
Dear Mitch and guests, I'm appalled by Minister Penny Wong flaunting her alternative gay lifestyle and allowing enormous public exposure of her impending parenthood outside of traditional marriage. What a totally shameless display in media prostitution. No wonder politicians have such a poor record for indulging in their own interests rather than striving for the welfare of others. She didn't have to publicise any of this, but instead she chose to campaign loudly, largely and publicly. She accessed every paper across Australia and every electronic media outlet. She's perpetrated the worst disservice to other politicians for displaying her total self-interest and putting her party's interest and her nation's interest last. How dare she try to change the fabric of family life in Australia while being on the public purse? It's unethical and she's unprincipled. I can't believe the ALP, in needing to retain office at the next election to ensure the climate change legislation isn't dismantled, would be so short-sighted to promote not only its atheist Prime Minister, but also a lesbian cabinet member. Australia needs a new political party. Oh my goodness, because the ALP has become a collection of self-interested, jobs for the boys or girls, iconoclastic wankers. Martin J. of Brisbane in Queensland, who sounds a bit full of himself here. Anyway, Lisa, what's Penny Wong doing that's incorrect?
I don't think she's that bad. I mean, she's a politician at the end of the day.
She's got a campaign. That's her job. She campaigns for the things that she wants. Is she appropriate in campaigning in this avenue that she's doing? Is she right to take it on board?
The way I see it, she's a politician. They use any avenue they can. If it's their looks, if it's their leaning, if it's their attitude, if it's their, whatever it might be, they've got an angle, and that's her angle, and she's probably proud of it as well. So you know, if she wants to embrace it, and that's who she is, she's still a politician, I think. So I'm sort of not that interested in politics. So you know, they all have their thing that they try and do, and I just sort of start to blank out personally. So I don't think she's unethical. I don't think she's unprincipled. I think she's just using the media in the best way that she can.
Neil, what's going on here? Penny Wong doing anything wrong by the fabric of Australian society, as Martin would suggest?
She is using it as a platform to push her perspective, but I just put that into the mix of the number of things that the Labor Party has been doing that most Australians are opposing at the moment. There's not much left. How many different directions can they go in that the people of Australia are saying, no, thank you, we don't accept this or respect this, and please stop. So there's quite a groundswell of...
Does that fit this category?
I think it does. I think it's just another thing that there was very clear there isn't popular support for this position.
But we're a tolerant society.
We may be tolerant, but I mean, we also have tolerated a lot of other policies that
Who's
they're bringing
hurting? Anybody?
She's presenting a minority perspective as if
But
it's
everybody
the norm.
does that. Everybody campaigns for their own particular barrow.
Yeah, absolutely. But should she do that, use it herself as a politician to promote which is a family position? I'm not sure.
You're not sure. All right. Harry, are you sure?
Well, look,
Hey, Alex, third.
Shut up. Keep going.
wait your turn. Wait your turn. Look, I think it's... Look, same-sex marriages are here to stay. It's just a fact of life. It's just the way it's happening all over the world. The other thing is that I don't think the Labor Party would definitely have the support of the Greens if they weren't going down this thing. And in the scheme of things, I really think the media should be taken up not by politicians, but real issues like carbon tax and the economy. They're the bigger issues that we really need to worry about. Whether she's in a same-sex marriage and having a child doesn't really matter in the scheme of things. I'd rather that their politicians harden up and get on with the real issues: housing, training, getting people into jobs, fixing the economy, instead of trying to fix people's personal lives. Not interested, keep it in the women's magazines where it should be.
Martin's campaigning for something that probably doesn't need a campaign. What do you make of it, Al?
Eyes, my
It's
eyes.
your turn now.
I'm all glazed eyes, so they're glazed over. Oh, politics. Oh, what? Okay, politics. I think she just wants to be seen as normal. And, you know, she likes... I'm not going to say it.
No, but look over there, because that's where the camera
sorry.
is.
Oh, where was I looking? Oh. Okay, I'm sorry, viewers. Yeah, she just looks... I think she just wants to be seen like most gay people. They want to be accepted as being normal, which they are normal, but they just like to... I won't say that, but they just like to be with the same sex. And unfortunately, it's still not accepted wholly by a lot of people because we've still got those beliefs from way back in the ages. Marriage is for a man and woman, basically to have children, raise a family and grow old together. But
And that's the traditional perspective.
that's the tradition of marriage. Now, the gays want to get married because they love each other, and I understand that, I do, but it's just, why get married? It doesn't work, then you've got all that paperwork. So many of my friends have got married, divorced, married, divorced. Now, why get married?
Well, hang on.
married?
But that's irrespective of whether you're a gay couple or whether you're a man and wife couple, a man and woman couple. Why get married?
Man
if
and
it's
wife.
all about
Man and wife. What do they say, man and wife? I
Good
now
Italian
pronounce
girl.
you man and wife. Why don't they say, I now pronounce you man and woman? I now pronounce you husband and wife, not man and wife. Washing, ironing,
all right.
food.
I apologise for
everything
my
else.
error of usage.
Martin needs to lighten up a bit.
Martin needs to lighten up a
that's
bit.
just, you know.
Hang on, who actually agrees with Martin? You said you don't know.
I actually probably...
Ambivalent?
I sort of agree with where he's coming from.
You agree with
Because
him?
what you're talking about here is a... you said it's a traditional marriage. It's a traditional thing. Well, biology is pretty traditional as well.
Lisa, yes, no?
I disagree with him.
Disagree? You don't know? Harry?
I disagree with him.
You disagree with him, all right.
No,
We've got two disagree,
kind of
one
agree.
and one agrees. And when we come back, we're going to be talking about eating the rich,
I don't know.
That's it.
whether they're tasty or not. We'll see you then.
Why do I tell you?
This episode of Sweet and Sour was brought to you by the WA Martial Arts Society.
Welcome back to Sweet and Sour, dear panel. Gina Reinhardt is set to become the world's richest woman, it says here, but she's actually set to become the world's richest person if her wealth from our minerals keeps accumulating. Funny how the rich are the ones who keep campaigning against a decent mining royalty being paid to the Australian people. But nothing is allowed to stand in the way of the utterly obscene wealth accumulation by the same people. What public good is served by allowing this to continue? Really, look at the state of our world's economy. Almost in total ruins because US President Ronald Reagan 30 years ago abandoned the traditional financial safeguards and banking standards so the rich could bloodsuck and pillage until the world economy has finally run out of bulldust. They should all be made to pay. If every person who owns more than $10 million was made to liquidate 10% of their assets and pay it to their respective governments, we'd be out of the financial crap. But instead, the little bloke has to pay hiked interest rates, greater taxes and work harder and longer so the rich can keep perpetuating the capitalist rip-off and keep the obscenely wealthy in the manner to which they are accustomed. If they don't want to hand it over, then we should just get rid of the bloodsuckers and confiscate their assets. Marcus of Prospect writes, and Harry, first to you.
Marcus, confiscating assets, I think they call that communism. Not a good idea, and it's definitely going to cause the economy to come to a big grinding halt. The next thing is, it wasn't poor old Ronald Reagan, it was actually Nixon in 1971 when he unhinged the US dollar from the gold standard, and that's where everything started to change. It wasn't Ronald Reaganomics, I should say. And then the other thing is that look at maybe with the mining tax, they should consider putting a tax in where you have to spend money to help people get better educated, better hospitals, better roads, better ways, and not just put it into the government coffers.
An attribution tax, so it's directly related
Absolutely.
to education and health.
Exactly, exactly. And don't just put it into the government so they can spend it somewhere else. Give them concessions that if they spend this money on education, then they get a tax break or a tax benefit. Don't take it away and just warehouse it, put it somewhere useful.
Of value, that's probably a good way of selling the mining
Absolutely.
royalty tax as well.
Because they're talking about the mining royalty tax, but they're not talking about what they're going to do with it. You're already paying company tax, so you're paying company tax and mining tax. What are you going to do with it?
Okay.
For the NBN.
Alex,
Absolutely.
you're second on this one, honey.
Always second. I was second born too. Second, nothing comes good. Oh, okay.
Which camera are you looking at?
That one.
Are you having a ball?
All right.
No, I just think. No, why have you only got one?
Come on.
Did that work?
We're running out of time.
Okay, no, I just, I don't know, just with all the things happening in London, the burning and everything, you know, those people were all disgruntled about, you know, not having any money.
The riots, yep.
Oh, you know, and there was this man talking how, you know, we haven't got any jobs and there's no food and blah, 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 and then they, okay, just go and riot and smash windows and steal everything. I thought that's the mentality of these people that demand education. Well, it's not hard to go and get education, just go. Go and do it yourself. But, you know, talking about Gina Reinhardt though, but another thing my mother said, she was a smart woman. She used to say, money, marry money. And like, money talks.
Money, marry money.
Yeah.
Marry money.
Money will always marry money. Like if you're a poor person and you want to marry a rich person, you're not going to have the odds because they usually go for people that has got the same wealth things because they don't want any. Anyway, but that's not it. But money talks.
Money
always
talks.
does.
Neil, are you marrying a rich person?
What a question.
The answer is yes.
Yes, of course.
She's abundantly rich in many things.
Many things.
love.
Yes,
In
yes,
love,
yes.
in love, and I'm very good. I agree with Harry in regards to Nixon, the gold standard. Quite true. I think if we're going to have a tax on a wealth or a profits tax, it should be on the one area where no one's, they're all too afraid to tax, and that's the banks. The banks.
The banks.
They're the richest, and that's where the most of the profit in the country is at the moment.
What, you don't think it's the mining royalty?
No, banks by far.
Banks by far?
Yep.
Okay.
I would think so.
So, okay, then there's the banks and the miners as well.
The government does need revenue, and we're not getting enough through what that they're getting at this stage. But I think the biggest problem and where the world's issues are is the easy credit. Credit has been where the problem is. The idea of actually saving for something now is being made to be alien so we can encourage the consumer society, and I blame America for that.
Lisa, final word on this to a woman. He's bagging a woman. Anything wrong with being rich?
There's nothing wrong with being rich if it's deserved. This letter really made me think, and in fact all the letters tonight have been making me think. And I've been a strong advocate for keeping the wealth within WA because I'm in WA.
And all the people out there who aren't living in WA are going, what a bitch.
No. But this is why this letter's made me think, because it's probably one of the first times I've actually thought, you know what, that's a really good point. At the end of the day, I'm not the one accumulating wealth. It's my fellow West Australians that are. And they have had such strong campaigns to keep the wealth in WA. But the reality is that maybe we do need to distribute this wealth. Why is one individual becoming so wealthy? And in what other ways can we benefit and make our society better? And I think Harry made some really good points about that.
Paris has given me the Three Stooges sign off. We've got to go. That's it. Which letter did you like to give away? The pair of limited edition sunnies? Number three, Neil? Number two. We're not going to get any consensus. Number one, okay. Harry, 1, 2 and 3. Which one do you like?
Number one, she needs
Number
to
one.
hide.
There you
She
go.
needs to hide.
Coming out 2, fraying at the edges of North Ball. The slut! You're giving it to the slut!
Goodness, what? No, can we have a re-vote?
No! That's it. We've run out of time. Coming out to fraying at the edges of North Baldwin, Victoria, a pair of limited edition sunnies courtesy of Alon Treves and Aussie Opticals. We've got to go. Good luck for your wedding.
Thank you very much.
Have a good time at the Bucks.
I'll see you there.
You will indeed. Lise, terrific to have
Thank you so much. It's been great being on board.
Look after your finger.
Thank you.
Mate, we'll see you again, yes?
Yeah.
You got to show me some more of that artwork afterwards as well.
Yep.
H,
Mate, you're the best.
some good news tonight too.
Absolutely.
Interest rates down.
Down.
Real estate prices a little bit
Up.
up.
The market's
Thank our
booming.
wonderful panellists. Thank our terrific crew. And thanks for having us at home tonight, Australia. Good night. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
Good night.